Hey everybody, this is my 40-gallon purple spotted Gudgeon tank, and right now the lights on it are, well, they're not up to snuff. I've got one little fixture in the back. It's a 3-foot fixture, but it's one of the cheap plastic hoods that actually has a 22-inch T8 tube in it, and that's it. My forward fixture that has the T5 tubes in it has burned out. So I'm in the process of getting everything in this room switched over to LEDs anyway, and so tonight I have put together a little homemade DIY LED panel. It's made out of some really inexpensive and simple materials I got online, and of course I bought some stuff up at the Wally World, and it should make this tank really well lit. I measured the pieces of foam board, and that's literally what I'm using as my support, is a piece of foam board. I believe it's less than $1 for a whole sheet of it, and I didn't even use a whole sheet of it to do this tank. But I measured for this particular hood. I've got a forward section and a rear section. And after I did it, I realized I put so many LEDs on it that I've kind of done it geared towards my other 40-gallon tank that I'm going to do the same thing on. My Black Ghost Knifefish tank requires a lot more light than this tank, and I'm not sure the Gudgeon's going to appreciate a really brightly lit tank when I'm done with all of this. So I know it's not going to come out very well on video since it's kind of dark in the room here, but if you can see these little pieces of foam board right here, this is it. This is what I'm talking about. I've got my little power source sitting on top of it. And then, I don't want to turn this over, but you can see one of those little LED strips on it. And I have two sections all connected together, so it's only one plug. I will be able to plug it in, and this tank will be lit up very bright, I hope. And I put a combination of, well, it just says warm white and cool white. I don't know what actual color temperatures we're dealing with here. Again, we're talking about some really low budget lighting. This is very low budget lighting. So all said and done, I've got right around $20 tied up in what we're about to see. So go ahead and consider this your before, and there's your after. So that might take a little getting used to for me. That is a lot of light in this tank. It's probably going to take a little getting used to for the Gudgeon in there. But I don't dislike it. It's not an unpleasant light. It's not an unnatural looking light. We get a little bit of twinkle and sparkle from the water circulation. But it really lights this tank up brightly. As I said, I sort of got carried away with the amount of LEDs I actually put on there. Now my battery's running low and it's getting kind of late this evening, so I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail about all the pieces and parts and how much electricity it's using and all that stuff, but I will do a video in the very near future here. I'm going to do another one of these little panels. I'm going to do another little homemade job here, and we're going to do it on my Black Ghost Knifefish tank. And I will do a how-to and show you all the step-by-step of me putting it together and what I do. Again, really simple. I'm not really a DIY kind of guy, and I was able to do this in about, I don't know, maybe half an hour, 40 minutes of just kind of tinkering around with it. And there you go. We're looking at about $20 worth of lighting here, and we're using, I can't even remember how many watts it is. It's something like 38 watts or something total that we're using here, 42 watts, somewhere in that neighborhood. So there you go. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss any of what I was just talking about. And I will say on one final note before my battery dies, if we have a look down, those are the two units I used to have on there. You can see the one that's got the two T5s in it, and then this rear unit is really kind of worthless. It says it's a 3-foot, it's a 36-inch hood, but when you actually look inside, it's got a, 2-foot T8, and that's it. And that little tube was the singular light that was on this tank prior to me lighting it up like this. So this is actually about the same amount of wattage as we just saw in the before section. This is maybe a little bit more wattage than we just saw in the before section, but not much. So there you go. My battery's about to die. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't forget, this one here is my black ghost knife fish tank. I'm sorry, this one is my purple spotted gudgeon tank. My black ghost knife fish tank will be in the next video. So thanks again, and I'll see you real soon.